How's it going, YouTubers? It is the J Rex, the man himself, and I'm just making a video because I really think this is important, and I need to get this out to as many people as I can before it's too late. But yeah, no webcam this time because I just bought a new computer, and there's no webcam software on here. I have webcam, but there's no webcam software. So what kind of shit is that? I don't know, but it's all good. I'll download it sooner or later, if I get the chance to, because I got some slow ass shit internet, and it takes a long ass motherfucking time to download like a goddamn text file. But okay. Yes, as I'm saying, the economy collapse of America. Can't stress this enough. I know I've made a drastic change from my previous videos. I don't cover the topics that I used to cover before, but I feel like this topic right now is priority number one. It's very important, and it should be the number one priority of any person's videos on YouTube. This should be like the number one topic for any kind of video on YouTube for anyone, because it's a very important situation. But okay, the economy collapse of America. It is well on its way, and we are getting closer and closer to an economy collapse. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is anybody that uses the American dollar as their currency, they are going to be the specific victims of what's to come for America, or for anyone. You know, if you are invested in the dollar, your future is in dire situation. So I'm gonna do what I can to tell you why I think you need to start preparing for the economic collapse, and because there's probably a lot of people who are listening to me right now, and they don't think an American collapse is going to happen. They think America is too strong, they think America can't go down, and they think it won't happen. So, I am going to do what I can to convince these people that they should prepare for the economic collapse. And people who do believe in me and do support, preparing themselves in case of a dire emergency situation, in case if there's people who believe in me, then I will also give advice, or I would give my thoughts on what we can do to protect ourselves from this collapse. I'll give some of my knowledge that I've learned along the way researching this stuff, and maybe I can give you this information and you can use it to your advantage. But okay, the economy is going to collapse. Now I'm probably sure a lot of you are wondering, when is the economy going to collapse? Now I've done a bit of I've done quite a lot of research actually, and from what I've come across, the major years that I've come across is either 2013, 2014, or within Obama's second term. So basically, this collapse, from the majority of the economic researchers that I've listened to, most of them said that it's going to happen within 4 years, basically. So 4 years, that's not a lot of time, but now we have some economic researchers going as early as to say this economy collapse was supposed to happen in 2012. But nonetheless, it is 2013 now, and it hasn't happened yet. But a good quote that I learned from one article was that these economic researchers who predicted the collapse to hit in 2012, they weren't wrong. It's just their predictions were early. So it's not that they're wrong, it's just that their predictions were early. But okay. Gerald Celente, I'm not sure if you know him, but Gerald Celente was the one who predicted the 2012 crisis to hit. Now, from what I've heard, Gerald Celente has a good track record of predicting like economic events. Like he's had a good scoreboard of being right on his predictions. So if he predicted it to hit in 2012 and it didn't happen, my best guess is the Federal Reserve Bank or the other banks or the banking elites, whatever, they somehow managed to find a way to postpone this economic collapse just a little bit farther down the line. It's kind of like, I see it kind of like a runner. A runner, you see the guy running, he looks winded, he looks like he's about to get knocked out, it doesn't look like he'll make it. So you look at him and you'd be like, okay, yeah, this guy's probably gonna run for maybe 10 more minutes and he's done. But somehow the runner manages to get a little bit extra wind out of him, that last remaining bit of energy he had in him, any energy he had left remaining in him, going 110%, and instead of running for 10 minutes and panting really hard, he ends up pushing himself to 12 to 15 minutes of running, and then he ends up collapsing on the floor from giving 110%. That's kind of like the way of how I see it. These banking elites, they managed to postpone the inevitable, but by doing so, they're going to postpone it, but in the end, the ending is just going to be a lot more painful. So, okay. Peter Schiff. Now, I'm not sure if you know about Peter Schiff, but Peter Schiff predicts the crisis to hit within 2013 or 2014, or within President Obama's second term. So 4 years, 1, 2, or 4 years. That's Peter Schiff's prediction. So now I'm a little bit more on Peter Schiff's side, because Peter Schiff, he predicted the housing crisis of 2008. He predicted that, and he was spot on. He nailed that shit down, and he got his prediction right. Lo and behold, the 2008 housing bubble crisis happened. He was right. So, and based on when I listen to Peter Schiff, I don't think he was guessing. I don't think it was a lucky guess. I mean, I listen to Peter Schiff, and he talks about the problems of our economy, and he seems to know what the hell's going on. Like, he knows why our country's falling apart as it is, and he seems to have a good idea of it, and he tells it like it is. He says he knows what the problem is. So he's saying the economic crisis is in 2012. No, not 2012, but 2013 or 2014, or within 4 years. If this guy predicted the 2008 crisis and was right, and he's been right predicting where our economy is heading, if he's been right and all that shit, I'm gonna go with this guy, because I have a feeling he knows what's going on. My instincts are just telling me it, and just looking at it, what he's explaining the problem, and what he describes what's going on and where we're headed. It seems like he got a good idea of what's going on, so I'm going with his prediction. Now, yeah, there's a couple more researchers that were talking about the crisis hitting. I can't remember their names, but yeah, as far as I know, the two main guys I listen to, Peter Schiff and Gerald Celente. There's a couple other guys that I listen to, Max Kaiser, and Mike Maloney, Robert Kiyosaki, and they all seem to be preparing for the economic collapse. They're preparing. So if they're preparing, then they must be really worried about it. They must be real worried about it if it's getting them to the point where they have to prepare for it by buying up gold and silver. And there's a bunch of other, financially elite people, converting their money into gold and silver. There's like a bunch of other rich people doing that right now. So, I mean, you got all these rich people converting their dollars into gold and silver, if they're all doing that right now, you got to think, why are they doing it? Why are they all suddenly, investing so much in precious metals and getting out of the dollar? If you got all these rich ass people investing their money into gold and silver, precious metals, and they're all doing it right now, I have a feeling these rich people know what's going on. It's the whole reason why they're rich in the first place, because they know how the system works. So if they're all preparing for it by fucking like buying gold and silver, getting out of the dollar, I suggest that we the other people, follow the rich people's lead and get our money out of the dollar and get into gold and silver like how the rich people are doing. Okay, that's how I think. I mean, like, I'm going to how can I say, the math teacher. I'm gonna go with the math teacher instead of the student, because the math teacher seems to know how to solve these problems. That's why he's a teacher in the first place. I'm gonna go with what he's saying instead of with what the student is saying, because I'm gonna go with the student. No, I'm gonna go with the teacher who has like an A in this course. I'm gonna go with what the teacher, his methods. I'm gonna go with his methods because he's getting an A in the class, instead of going with the student who's getting an F in the class, because chances are, the student who gets Fs in the class is, doesn't have a lot of knowledge in that subject, chances, or, just doesn't have the capabilities of, making it in that class. And I'm going to go with the teacher who's getting an A in the class, because he seems to be aware of the subject and he seems to know what's going down. So I'm going to go with his methods, So, yeah, kind of like that. I'll just compare it like that. But okay, shit, I got so caught up on the economic collapse, I forgot to bring up how to prepare. Now I got about 2 minutes left, so I'll do what I can to compress this. But okay. Buy canned foods. Buy lots of canned foods. Now, I've done some research on this, and from what I've came across, canned foods are the best foods to have to that last a long time. So you can store up on canned foods, and they'll last a long time. The best foods that last the longest are like vegetables like potatoes, peas, and carrots, and meats like ham, and fucking what else? Yeah, those kind of foods, they can last a long time, like several years. They can last like several years, maybe even decades, without expiring and getting nasty. But stock up on as much canned foods as you can, and stay away from canned foods with a lot that are very acidic, like lemons or tomatoes, or from what I've heard, fruits too. Fruits are very acidic too, so be wary of the fruits. I don't know, I'm kind of half-half on fruits, because some articles I came across said fruits can like last a while, and some articles say it doesn't. But tomatoes for sure. Stay away from tomato canned foods. Stay away from like very acidic foods. Buy as many foods as you can that are not acidic, because non-acidic canned foods last a long time. Also, get your dollars out of the dollar, and convert your dollars into precious metals, and stock up on weapons. Get your home defended, and haul yourself in for a rough ride. Thank you for watching. Bye.